Greetings everybody. My name is Enveri Sufi. I work in the Institute for Organic Agriculture in Albania. I am expert in plant protection and organic agriculture. The title of presentation for today is The Main Factors of Success in Plant Protection in Organic Agriculture. Three are the main factors of success of plant protection. 1. Right time of control measures. The second, selection of right plant protection products according to specific parasites. And 3. Good managing of spray equipments for treatments. In this presentation, 3 elements will be discussed more in details. As we see in this triangle, with the time of application, the plant protection products, and spray equipment. This is the triangle of success in plant protection. In this presentation, we'll try to analyze how could harmonize 3 factors in order to take the maximum of results in crop protection. Biology of parasites. The treatments with plant protection products have higher efficiency when the control measures are made in the most delicate stage for insect pests or diseases. For example, young larvae are more delicate to plant protection products. Spore diseases are more delicate than mycelium. Preventive measures are more effective than they are made after the infection has happened, and mycelium has penetrated inside the tissue of the plants. If we use the beneficial insects, need to find the right time to release the predators and parasites in the field or in the greenhouses. There is a favorable stage from insect parasites to put the eggs in the larvae or adults of insect pests. If we don't distribute the parasite in right time, the parasite efficiency will be low. The economic threshold for beginning of treatments. To take the control measures in right time, as mentioned above, it is not enough if we find the larvae or adults in the crop, or some symptoms of any diseases. But at the same time, it's important to know the number of insects in control points. After we have such a number, then we compare this number with threshold. In the picture below, the first larva has hatched at 20 May. After 4 days, we have 24 of May, we have found in the field 4 larvae per 100 branches. Until now, has no reason to make a treatment because for this insect threshold is 10 insects per 100 analyzed branches. Next days need another field analysis. In our case, at 27 of May, we have found 9 larvae per 100 analyzed branches. That means next day could make a treatment because the threshold is reached in 90% of threshold number. If we make a treatment at 28 of May, there is a logic because control measure is economically justified. We make again this comment in this picture. In photo number 1, in 20 May is found 1 larva. Photo number 2, in 24 of May, May are found 4 larvae. Photo number 3, in 27 of May are found 9 larvae. Threshold is 10 larvae. In 28 of May could be make a treatment because the threshold almost is reached. Economic threshold is the number of insects in control points, above which the economic damage begins. In order to avoid the economic damage, it is necessary for intervention with control measure. If the number of insects per unit of control is under economic threshold, in such cases, it is not necessary for control measure. That means if the cost of losses of production is smaller than cost of control measure, has no reason to make a treatment with plant protection products. If the cost of the product losses is bigger than cost of the treatments is justified. Threshold concept helps to make a decision in professional way. In our example, economic threshold is 10 larvae per 100 branches. In the first analysis, we have found only 1 larva, and in the second analysis, we have found 4 larvae. That means it is not time for treatment with plant protection products because we have found only 4 larvae per 100 branches. In next day, the 27th of May, we have found 9 larvae. How could we know the economic threshold? Almost for each insect pest, with scientific studies are determined the economic thresholds. The farmers need to find in different publications these figures, at least for main insect pests in each crops, before they implement the control measures. Economic threshold is expressed according to the methods of monitoring. For example, larvae for 100 plants, number of the eggs for 100 centimeter branch, number of the larvae for 100 centimeter trunk, number of insect or larvae in 100 fruits or 100 flowers or buds, number of the larvae or insect per 1 quadrat meter of the soil in the case of soil insects analysis, etc. Biology of insect pests and diseases could be observed with different methods specific for each parasite. Some of them are presented in following pictures. There are many methods, many schemes from field analysis. We have presented here only 2. We have a diagonal sampling and we have so-called double 5 scheme. These points are the control points where we take the sample for analysis. In this table, we present some examples for economic threshold as a criterion for treatment decisions. Name of the insect in English, Latin name, the sampling method, result of analysis, in this case as example, and the economic threshold. Wireworm, Agrotisegetum, 4 to 1 quadrat meter per hectare. We have found 2 larvae per quadrat meter. Economic threshold is 4 larvae. European red spider mite in apple. Winter eggs. Hispananicus ulmi is the spider mite. 200 centimeters branches taken in winter in 10 apple trees. We have found in our case 800 eggs. An economic threshold is 1,500 eggs per 100 centimeter branches. Europeans read mite during the season, Pananicosulmi. We take for analyze 100 leaves taken in 10 apple trees. If we find 4 to 5 spider mite per leaf in early spring and above 10 spider mite per leaf after setting fruits and 20 spider mite in the summer, that means the economic threshold is according to the vegetation of the apple. Olive fly, Bactocera olea, 200 olive fruits taken in 10 olive trees. We have found in our case 8 to 10 new larvae, and the threshold is 15 to 20 infected fruit trees for olive for oil destination, and 1 to 2 larvae per 100 fruits in the case of table olive. Some other examples: woolly apple aphid, Erizoma lanigerum, 200 branches taken in 10 trees, 20 branches per tree. We have found 5 aphids. Economic threshold is 1 to 2 aphids for each branch. Green apple aphids, Aphis pomi, 100 new shoots taken in 10 apple trees. 7 shoots with colony of green aphids in 100 trees. More than 10 shoots with green apple aphid for 100 apple leaves. Codling moth, Pseudopomonella, are taken for analyze 200 fruits taken in 10 apple trees. In our case, we have found 6 larvae in 200 fruits. The economic threshold is 1 to 2 infection fruits. That means, in our case, infection is above the threshold. We told you some example because has so much table with economic threshold and has many in literature, in guidelines, such thing we can find in literature, many another example. I brought you some example only to create an idea what is threshold. In order to find the real infection in the field, we use many analyze methods. A simple one is field analysis by free eye. We make such analysis for insects with big size as aphids, spider mite, miner, moth, fleas, thrips, beetles, cicada, etc. With loupe with 10 or 20 time magnification, we can see the spider mite, extra of insect. That means the smaller insects we can see with the help of the loupe. Another method of analysis is so-called shanking methods. This method is used for some insects as beetles, fleas, beneficial insects, etc. Such kind of insects are always in moving and is difficult to count direct on the plant. The net has a cone form. The size of the net is 60 to 60 or 80 to 80 centimeters. At the end of the nets is hang a bottle for collection of insects. Inside the bottle has some gram ether or another substances for killing the insects. Put the net under the branches of the tree and shake it with Gummy stick. Branches are shaking with gummy stick in order to avoid the branch injury. After shaking the branches, insects fall down on the bottle. After that, open the bottle and we can count the collected insects. Threshold in these cases is expressed as a number of insects for each shaking branch. Monitoring of insects with plastic color sheets with sticky material. We monitor many insects, especially from flies, are attracted from yellow color. Thrips are attracted from blue color. In this case, it's monitoring of olive fly, minor fly, white fly in vegetable with yellow carton with sticky substances. With binocular and microscope, for small and very small objects as eggs, spider mite, or spores of the Eriophis familia, spider mite is very small, from mycelium or spores of bacteria, nematodes, it is indispensable using of binocular or microscope. Monitoring with feeding substances is another method. Such substances could be juice from different fruits, fish, proteins, etc. Such materials for feeding are used for monitoring of olive fly and Mediterranean fruit fly, Ceratitis capitata and Bacterocereolea, and cherry fly too. For wire worms, larvae could prepare with potatoes or carrot and putting them about 10 centimeters deep in the soil. Some control points help to know the density of wireworms in the soil. Before the planting the crops, a cup is filled with just germinated wheat. During the germination process is produced CO2, which attract the wireworms larvae. As a threshold is accepted, one larva per control points. That means are the monitoring method with feeding substances to attract the plant. Monitoring with pheromones. Pheromones are the best substances for attracting of insects in pheromone traps. For all key insect pests could find in the market monitoring pheromones. The active ingredient of pheromones are organic substances produced from female sexual glands. These substances are produced in synthetic way in dispenser form. Dispensers attract the male individuals. Insects found in sticky material in pheromone traps are counted weekly or one times from 3 or 4 days. Here we see a type of pheromone for olive fly monitoring, Bacterocereolea. In this case, is called Dacus stick. Monitoring with pheromones help so much to find the beginning of the flight, the maximum of the flight, and the period of the flight fall down. The number of insect captures is reduced. According to the insect counted on the traps, could make the interpretation in order to take a decision for control measures. Here you see a model from fruit fly pheromone trap, for mussel trapping and for monitoring, to for Ceratitis capitata. Another type of monitoring are a light trap, one of the oldest monitoring tools of insects. Now, this kind of light trap is modernized because it are used the solar energy. That means we can hang the lamp in different places. Has no need from electric lines. Here we see monitoring for wintering chrysalide or pupe of colding moth Pseudopommonella. In September-October, the larvae of last generation enter under the corrugated cardboard for wintering. In the spring, at the end of April, beginning of May, are controlled one time per week in order to see the pupe situation. How many from pupe, for example, have hatched into the moths? This is information for adult activity in all garden. We could use this method for first and second generation too. It is a simple, cheaper, and effective monitoring method. Electronic weather stations are the modern equipment that help so much for short-term prognosis or forecasting of insect pests and diseases in agriculture. There are some computer models for main key insect pests and diseases. Such programs are in implementation for apple scab, potato blight, downy mildew, grape moth and cotton moth too. The second point of our triangle are plant protection products. Plant protection products are another strong point of triangle for success in plant protection. Plant protection products, according to the insect parasite, are divided: insecticides, larvicides, ovicides, acaricides, rodenticides, molluscicides, fungicides, bactericides, and the herbicides. It is important to know in detail the feature of each plant protection product. What is need to know about each plant protection product? The first is to need to know the mechanism of action to parasite. For example, is product with contact? That means X to insect and diseases. If the body of insect or spores of fungus are in contact with product. Cytotropic effect, when the product is absorbed from plant tissues. Systemic effect, product circulates through the lymph in all parts of the plant. An active ingredient gives the effect if the parasite is inside the plant tissues. We need to know to which kind of insect pest or diseases products has higher effect. If a plant protection caused more than 75% mortality of the insect population, it is considered with good effect. Need to know duration in the days of effect plant protection products to parasites, or with another words, how many days product has effect to parasites. How fast gain the resistance the insect or fungus from a certain insecticide or fungicide, or with another words, how many treatments allowed to make within the seasons. How dangerous is a product to beneficial insect and to main beneficial fauna and beneficial organism, as are the bean, the fish, earthworms, and other animals and pollinators too. How long does the fungicide degradation in the soil? When the products lose the effect to certain parasite, that means how many years effects is preserved. The third strong point in our triangle are equipments from crop protection. Parallel with the right time of application and selection of most effective plant protection products, what we have mentioned above, the third important factor of success in plant protection are plant protection equipments. There are many types of sprayers and duster pumps. Backpack pumps without motor, backpack pump with motor, sprayer pump with tractor, duster pump in the case of pulver dusty products, sprayer on the ground, sprayer on the air as are aeroplane and last year's drones, electronic pumps, etc. Why are so many types of pumps in the market? Because we have different crops with different form of plants, have different form of land as fields, slopes, hills, mountains, have many kinds of insect pests and diseases that are localized in different parts of the plants, upper side or underside of the leaves, or inside the plant's tissues, inside the fruits, inside the branches of the trunk, inside the crown, different ways of crop cultivation, etc., etc. What are the main requirements to sprayer equipments? To distribute the doses of plant production to main part of the plants as leaves, fruit, branches, trunk. To distribute the liquid in uniformity in all parts of the plants, and to distribute the liquid underside of the leaves too. What need to know a driver and a farmer about plant protection equipments? Need to know calculation of doses of product according to the volume of the pumps. Registration of the pumps, for example, spray angle in percentage. Selection of nozzle diameter. To know the speed of tractor kilometers per hour. In this presentation, this kind of information about plant protection equipment, of course, is not enough. But in this presentation is emphasized, is underlined the role of such equipment in plant protection results. I think this is a weak point for farmers everywhere, but especially in Balkan regions, where the dominate the small-size farms and have not capacity for modern equipment and has a lack of professional education too. Here some example from traditional backpack pumps. Here see a very good distribution of liquid, the fine drops. We see here different type of the pumps according to the crops. The sprayer from the air, aeroplane, and the drone. Electronic sprayers are more sophisticated equipments. Here we see some photo with drops size and quantity of liquid per hectare. In the first case, we have 20 liters per hectare and 16 droplets per centimeter quadrat. 30-liter liquid per hectare, 24 droplets per centimeter quadrat. 40 liters per hectare, 32 droplets per centimeter quadrat. Here we see another picture with yellow plastic sheet. We see a different density of the drops. According to the density of the drops, we have the quality of the plant protection. Another picture, we have very fine drops, medium fine drops, and medium coarse, very coarse, and the extra coarse. We see here the different density of the drops. As fine is the spraying of liquid, as better is quality of spraying. We see here only to create the idea about size of the droplets and the distance of flying in the meter. Of course, it depends from the wind speed too. That means we need to take into account many circumstances, many conditions during the spraying of the plants. During the spraying, we need to have into account the elimination, the avoiding of contamination of environment, because has some possibility to contaminate the environment during the spraying process. In order to reduce the negative effect of pesticide in food chain and in environment, there are some European regulations for good management of plant protection equipments. One of the such documents is FAO Guidelines of Equipment Quality Control and Use, Rome, 1998. There are another rules for specific issues in related with plant protection equipment too. Developing countries have national regulation for good managing of plant protection equipment. In Balkan countries, inspection, certification, and registration of plant protection equipment are not a normal practice and need to improve this activity and to profit from developing countries' experience in this field. Has so many regulations and guidelines for better managing of pesticide application equipment. One of them is guidelines on minimum requirements for agriculture pesticide application equipment. Volume 1 is designed from Food Agriculture Organization of United Nations in Rome 2001. This is the last slide of our presentation. In this presentation, we hope to have promote for more attention for harmonization of three main factors in triangle of success in plant protection in organic agriculture. We repeat again, we have spoken about the time of treatments, plant protection products, and plant protection equipment. Thank you very much and goodbye to the next lessons.